There's a shield in it.
In what?
In the camera.
Inquisitive, engaging,
I'm winning.
competitive.
Yes.
Noah Henson is a normal 4-year-old in every way, but as a baby, Noah's mom, Kristen, wouldn't have described him that way.
About 9 months. I was starting to see it around 9 months.
Early signs of autism.
I would call his name and call his name and call his name, and I'd have to do backflips to get him to look up at me.
Signs and symptoms all too familiar to Kristen.
3, we're subtracting. Do you want your multiplication chart?
Yeah.
This is one of Noah's older brothers, Justin, struggling through his homework. He got an autism diagnosis at age 3.
He's making a touchdown.
Simon, Noah's other brother, got the same diagnosis at 18 months.
I have to go through that mental, or can we do this again?
This time, though, would be different. The UC Davis Mind Institute was looking for babies just like Noah, babies showing early signs of autism but too young for a diagnosis.
Babies who are developing autism, they need a little bit more help figuring out that people are the most interesting things around.
Dr. Sally Rogers is the driving force behind the Infant Start program at the Mind Institute. Rogers says babies who develop autism usually show symptoms before their first birthday. Symptoms like very little interaction or eye contact, repetitive behaviors with toys or other objects, and not making age-appropriate sounds or words. 7 families with babies between 6 and 12 months old embarked on a 12-week intervention. This is video of that process. The first autism intervention with babies this young.
It wasn't spend 3 hours a day on the floor doing these things with your baby. It was like, well, here's an interesting way to get your baby's attention, and how would this go if we were dressing the baby, and how would we go if we were feeding the baby?
Everyday routine things emphasizing interaction and response.
Some of these babies really were changing their whole developmental profile within 3 to 6 months.
Noah.
One of them was Noah.
It's like he started waking up to the world around him.
Kristen says there was a lot of pressure. The study taught her techniques, but it was her job to make even the most routine things like changing a diaper,
Mommy!
Do not climb on my camera.
You mean fairies? Let's go with this billboard. Mommy!
focus less on the task
Why is possum a spell?
and more on the interaction.
Like that.
Noah started to respond.
I mean, I'm getting some prayers answered here. You know what I mean? So he did. The light kind of just went on.
Diamond just bounced me.
And look at him now. We played Uno,
I have 1, 2, 3.
and not only did Noah engage, he didn't hold back.
I want to be third. I don't want to be last. I just want to be third.
Third, it lose.
Oh, just over his head.
Noah told me he doesn't play a lot with his oldest brother, Justin.
Because he says I have autism.
Kristen says Justin found an article about Noah's success in beating the odds of autism and had questions about it.
He said, well, why does he not? And I said, well, we worked with him when he was a baby, and I think that might have helped him. And he said, well, why do I have autism? I don't want to have autism.
Maybe that question will be something fewer kids will have to ask because of Dr. Rogers' early intervention study.
There's that nice feeling of we can do something before it becomes a big diagnosis.
You're not the same as your brother, right? You're not the same as your sister.
Because for every child like Noah, there are thousands more who will get that big diagnosis, part of an even bigger autism puzzle, a puzzle where the pieces have yet to come together.